Um, so let's talk hair, because I think that hair has been regarded as one of the most difficult things to do in 3D modeling. And I guess I wasn't scared until I saw a lot of people just being scared for it and being like, oh no, that's too much, or and getting comments like exactly like that, like that's too much, or no, like don't do it simple, like that doesn't matter, or just do something else. But I didn't want it. I knew it was possible to make the hair. I have seen it. I have seen the people sculpting and using things that look quite simple. I didn't necessarily wanted to use the hair particle emitter, because for me it's like, what's the point? Like I don't really want her to have real hair, because it doesn't go with the style. I kind of wanted she to look like kind of a clay doll, like a porcelain doll. And even though porcelain doll will have real hair, I think I was going more for like a dolly look rather than actually real hair and like an actual real person. So I found that I started to notice that a lot of people that was like doing a sculpting of models in YouTube and like talking about things while doing sculptures, where like they were using a technique when they had like this, like, I don't know, like curve of head that they were just using. So I started to research on it, and then I found out that it's actually quite a simple method. And when you take a circle pad and a numbs pad, and going into the menu on the right hand side, you can actually make it so that the numbs pad object is shape to be dictated by the circle. So that means that all modifications you do on the circle would somehow show on the numbs pad. And you can use it to give a certain shape to it, like how I did it to make it look like a hair strand that then I could extrude and make longer or shorter and wavier or whatever shape I needed to give it. And then I just would have to put them one by one on her. And it was a lot of work. I think she has like 60 hairs on her head, which is not that much, but is also a lot for a first time. I would say that the most difficult part was actually to do the sculpt. Like the top part of the hair, and making it so that the strands of hair wouldn't really look like they were overlapping in kind of an ugly way, and made them look like they were all coming out on their own, and they had like their own, I would say, way of falling down her body instead of just being overlapping into each other. So that took a lot of care and dedication. So it wasn't just as hard as it was like maybe just very delicate work that I had to do, especially because she doesn't have like a straight up hair. She actually has wavy curly hair, so I had very long hair. that also was like, I have to try to make everything the same length as well. But it is a technique that I find very effective to do hair. If you don't need it to be very photorealistic and like look like a person's hair, and I will kind of go for it. Your sculptures kind of end up looking like figurines, which is nice, and depending of the project. And that's why I selected this way of doing it, because I just thought it was kind of ideal and it will give me the end result that I wanted. And it was a technique that it wasn't overcomplicated itself, even though with the particle hair emitter you can actually comb it and do other stuff that is simple as well. But it was just not the right technique for me, and I wanted to learn this because I feel like something that is very important to me in 3D modeling is learn the tools that I have and get to know them and get to know how can I use them, and without allowing the tools to limit me or to use me. I don't want to just use one tool for what it is. I want to actually be able and twist it to my convenience and to what I needed to work for me. And that was one of my more important things to do with this project. Find a way to make everything for me work the way that I needed it.